Awesome. All right. Well, it's week 12. It has to be week quote unquote 12 because I was redoing my plan, my course of action, my weeks, my schedule thing, and I realized that I need to do two reflections in 1 week to make sure I get all 14 that I need because there are only 13 weeks scheduled, but I have 14 things and I like talking, so I'm gonna do it. Today I'm in a different place than I usually am. I'm usually on my bed or I'm over off to that side sitting on the floor in front of my closet, but I actually have a real setup now. I got very lucky, and my best friend, who I love and adore, gave me a gaming PC for Christmas, for early Christmas. And so now I can rest my phone right here in front of the gaming PC and then immediately go and edit the video, so things are going to be coming out so fast. The YouTube channel going straight up. It's going to be great. But yeah, so I did film this when I filmed my week 10 video, however, I was very sick, so my voice was horribly scratchy. I had bronchitis. Bronchitis was not fun. Bronchitis will knock you out for like 5 to 7 days. I'm actually still a little sick, not like I was. So, basically, bronchitis, not fun. Bronchitis is very bad. It will knock you out for like 5 to 7 days. There were like a period of 5 days where I could barely do anything. Like I was barely writing, and I would write a paper and then need to take a 2-hour nap because I was like, well, I'm exhausted. I'm still a little sick, not like I was. I still have a pretty nasty cough, but it's not frequent. Other than that, I've just been trying to not die. So, and also I was really sad. Like mentally, I was not in the best place to film this video because at the time, my parents had just sent in, like, at-home mailing COVID tests, and we thought that they had COVID, because my dad was the first one to get sick, and then it went through everyone else in my house. Right now, it's kind of on the tail end of it. My brother's still a little sick, but other than that, like, we're doing way better. And it was sicker than I had seen my dad ever, and so we were really, really worried, so we had to get tests. My parents got tests, me and my brother didn't, because we kind of figured, like, if some people in the house got it, that means everyone's got it. It was luckily not COVID. It was just a very nasty bronchitis. Don't get bronchitis. I mean, that's just my tip. Don't get it. But at the time when I filmed the video, part of the reason I was filming it then, when I was so sick, is because I was thinking about, like, COVID could completely derail my life forever if I were to get sick. Because with my autoimmune disease, it means that I am really susceptible to getting sick in the first place, and I also can't get vaccines because the way that Guillain-Barré works is that it can be possibly re-triggered / relapsed if I were to get vaccines, so I can't get the COVID vaccine. Not that it's out yet, but COVID could also trigger my Guillain-Barré to come back, because one of the things that triggers either the initial response of Guillain-Barré, because it is autoimmune, so it's, your own body attacking itself, or something that could trigger a relapse is either, like, gastrointestinal viruses or respiratory viruses. And that's literally the worst thing right now for me. So, yeah, COVID has definitely been, that's why I've been quarantined for so long. That's part of the reason I did the gap year and didn't go to college this year, is because, like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it and not die. So yeah, it was for my safety, but the topic I wanted to talk about was mortality, and that's part of the reason I was so sad when I filmed the first take of this video, is because it was at a point where I was, like, worried about going back to the hospital, and I was worried about all the possibilities of me getting sick, of me being back to where I was those years ago, and me needing to relearn everything after I'd already done it. And I personally don't think I have it in me to do that again. I did it once. I don't think I can do it a second time. But what I wanted to talk about specifically with mortality is the concept of the right choice. After filming this video, I don't know, the first time I filmed it, it was really rough, and it was really depressing. That's part of the reason I didn't want to post it, or at least not post it in its entirety, because I don't feel like it's really reflective of how I truly feel. I feel like it was reflective of what I was feeling in that moment, when everything was up in the air, and I didn't know what was going on. It's just, with everything about, I don't know, I think that the American school system, in terms of high school, makes it seem like if you don't get into an Ivy League school, you don't get into the best school, you don't start doing everything the moment you graduate, you're never going to succeed. And that's really stressful because the American society, especially like the American entertainment system, the American entertainment industry, if you will, like they really value youth. Like the younger you are and the more impressive you are at a younger age, like the more you're going to be selected over someone with tons of experience. Well, not experience, but someone who's older with like a similar level of experience. And I think that's ridiculous because it means that I'm constantly stressed about making it as a musician when I still need to teach myself how to use all these digital audio workshops, and I need to get comfortable with putting my music out into the world, and I still need to like be comfortable with people hearing my voice in a setting that isn't like a choir setting, and like there are so many hurdles I have to overcome, and I feel like I don't have the time to do it. And when I start thinking about it like that, it makes me think about like the concept of death and the concept of everything ending one day. And it's really scary, and sometimes it can be the motivation that gets me to go and do a bunch of things out of stress and panic. And other times what it does is it makes me stop doing anything at all. Like, I either become an existentialist or a nihilist, and it's all at a drop of a hat, and I can't figure it out. And I know that this gap year wasn't intended to be thinking about like, oh, what's the meaning of life? Like, it's not supposed to be that sort of thing. And I get that. However, it's what I'm thinking about because essentially my life has been dictated by the fact that I could die because of this pandemic. It sucks. But like, I hate saying that it sucks because even though it does, like that so minimizes it, and it does it a complete injustice. It doesn't just suck, it's completely unfair to people like me. It's completely unfair to all these people who have been waiting for months and months to get out of quarantine, and then there are people who still don't wear masks. Like, it's ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous, and I know there's no way to solve it right away, but I don't like the concept of needing to make the right choice the very first time. I don't think that's a sustainable way to make kids think about their futures. Because if you're a school system and you're saying you get this one shot to get everything perfect, that makes so many people not want to do anything at all. Because if it's so all or nothing. It's like you either get into Harvard and you become a millionaire, or you are homeless. Like, it's seen as this very strict dichotomy of you are either successful or you are not, and there are very rigid things that define success in the quote-unquote American dream, and a lot of it's still centered around like old-timey business. Like, and I know that sounds ridiculous, but like it just seems like the way that people expect you to be successful is by following something like accounting, or I'd say actually nowadays it's probably more of a tech route, a tech and science, like STEM route. And here's the thing, I'm good at that stuff. I could do that stuff for a living, but I also want to be happy, and that won't make me happy. Like, I love certain sciences. I love genetics. I absolutely adore genetics. That would be such a cool thing to study. I love medicine, like neurology specifically and neurobiology. I like astrophysics, but I can't devote myself to that because the sheer amount of stress being a woman just existing in that field will kill me, because it almost did. Like, over the summer between my junior and senior year, I went to a NASA space camp that was actually hosted by BSU, and so I lived on the campus for a week. It was really awesome. I got to like talk to a bunch of NASA professionals because we went to one of the research centers, and the amount of audacity that men have when they're in these scientific settings is ridiculous to me. The way that you had to get into this program is you had to be one of the top 88 students who scored, like, who got, most of us had A's. I think all of us had like A's in the final class. Remember, this is a college class that I'm taking in addition to my high school course load. And I did well enough to get invited to go on this trip, right? So like, clearly I know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm doing. Some dude in my team mansplained font sizes to me. This man looked at me dead in the face, and while I was editing a poster, he was like, you can't read that, it's too small. And I was like, yeah, I'm typing in the paragraphs now, I'm gonna change the font size a little bit. And then he said, let me explain something about font sizes to you. And I literally aged 20 years in that time because oh my god, if I had half the audacity that certain men have, I would have conquered the world by now. Like, I just, oof. He sat there and for 5 minutes talked to me about how if you get a bigger number on the computer, it makes the font size bigger. And I was like, wow, that's so crazy. I've never edited a document before. And I didn't say that. What I did say is I turned to him and I said, dude, I'm the one working on the project. If you want to take over, be my guest, but I'm not going to do work while you sit back and micromanage me. Because not only is that not fair, but what it does is it invalidates my role in this team, and it makes it seem like you have more authority over me when you, in all actuality, do not. He didn't like me very much, but he also tried to mansplain font sizes to me, so I really think it's pretty fair. I'm still heated about that. It's been so long. It's been so long since then, and I still think about it, and I'm like, So yes, anyway, that little tangent was fun. Let's get back to the point. Clearly I'm feeling better because I can go on tangents again. But, no, I wouldn't be able to survive in a scientific setting because I can't be looked down at and underestimated constantly. That will literally, I will destroy myself from the inside out to prove people wrong. In terms of them questioning my intelligence, I would not be able to live through that. So I cannot go into science, or at least that type of science. Medicine even is pushing it because of the audacity. But it's just it always ties back to if I were to die tomorrow, would I be happy with what I've done? Which realistically isn't necessarily the most healthy thought for an 18-year-old to have. I mean, dying when you're 6 isn't the healthiest choice either, but my body tried to do that and we pumped the brakes on that and stopped it. Still leaves a lot of effects though. I don't know, I just think that's what's really been bothering me this week is how do I know I'm making the right first choice? Is this what I'm meant to be doing? And how do I know that? And how will I figure that out? Because people tell you when you're doing the thing that you're meant for, you'll just know it. And I'm like, okay, well, what am I looking for? What are the criteria? Because I love so many things so deeply that I just don't, I know that theoretically I could do so many things and be successful and be able to do it, but the things I want to do are seemingly the things I'm the least equipped for. I know I can sing and I know I'm a great performer. That doesn't mean I'm a great producer. It means I'm learning to produce. I know that I can rap, but that doesn't mean that other people view me as a rapper. I know that I love to dance and I'm so happy when I am. That doesn't mean I'm good at it. I auditioned for a talent company and I just sent in a dance video and I watched it back and I was like, oh my gosh. Which really has just kind of been more motivation for me to get better. But it's still scary. Still kind of nerve-wracking. I'll figure it out though. I'll figure it out. I always do. It's just gonna take a little while. And I think that's what scares me, is I know it's gonna take a little while, but in a society that values youth, especially in the entertainment industry, how am I where is the time to take? Where, is it okay to take this time in the first place if I know that I'm already running out of it? I don't know. Again, I'll figure it out. It'll be a lot easier with this beautiful piece of technology that my phone's resting on, because it means that I'll be able to make all the things I want and have a little bit of an easier time doing it. So, thank you. I'm dying again, but it's okay. Thank you to my lovely faculty and advisors who are all, chilling with me, going through the process with me. Thank you for watching this and giving me a college credit. And if you're one of my friends who's watching it, thank you, because usually most of my friends don't watch it, even though I'd like you guys to know what's going on. I'd like you to check up on me, but it's okay. Because I know that you guys are all busy too, so don't worry about actually watching these bad boys. They're for school. But yeah, so I will see you guys all in the next one.